Hey guys, subscribe for daily content. And if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks. I think that it just said recording in progress. So I think we are recording.
Yeah, I think you're good to go. Oh, shit.
Dang it. My intro. What's going on, YouTube? Metal Complex here. Today, we're all joined once again by the good, the great, the Nick Shabazz. What's up, man? How are you doing?
Hey, how's it going? Hey, everybody, Nick here.
We had talked, and it had been just a bit since the last time Nick had joined me for a Knife Guy episode, and so he decided to come hang out with us and chat and shoot the breeze about knives. What's brand new in your neck of the woods, Nick?
Oh, what's brand new? I got a couple of fun new things that have shown up recently. One particularly fun one is this little guy right here. So this is a ProTech knife, but it is not an automatic. You press the button, nothing happens. This is an assisted ProTech TR5. But the weird thing about it is, like, the assist is like super duper powerful. It's like kind of ridiculous, and the detent is strong. It's actually like, this really feels like, oh, you can't buy an automatic? Well, here's one that's damn near an automatic, but legal. And it's kind of compelling in that way. Like, it's a little high speed, low drag for my taste, but I really like this mechanism, and so I'm kind of excited by it. I think it's pretty excellent in that ways.
The noise that it makes, I leave it to ProTech to make an assisted knife that I actually want. You know, like, it actually looks cool, and the sound that it makes is neat too.
Oh, it's spectacular. I handled one of these at Blade. He's like, hey, you want to try our assisted knife? I'm like, assisted? It's 2022. He's like, try it. Like, okay, yeah. Because I think, for most people, assisted is yeah, but this is an assist that feels more like an automatic, and thus doesn't necessarily belong in a gas station.
Oh my God.
So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, watch ProTech bring back the assisted. Like, they make assisted knives cool again, right? Watch them do that.
To be fair, would I prefer it to be a manual with a great detent? Yeah, probably. But at the same time, from ProTech, it's like, okay, you're in your core competency here, guys. I get it. Why not, right? So there's that. And then I just got this guy in recently, which is the Monterey Bay Knives big ass slayback. That's not the technical term. I forget what the actual slayback XL or something like that, but it's the big ass slayback, and it's completely freaking ridiculous, but it's kind of got a charm.
Had they called it that, it would have been, I think that'd be good creative marketing.
I'll give them a call and say, hey guys, in the future, let me handle your naming. This is going to be the big ass slayback.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's going to be beautiful. And then the Formex field watch. Do not get into watches, people. But this is a pretty good watch to get into. I'm actually a big fan of it. So those are kind of the ones that have been really exciting me lately. Got some other stuff showing up here and there. The stovepipe I just finished my review of, which I think you just posted something about.
I did. I don't want to ask you what you thought. My review is also done, and
oh, you can ask. I'll tell you. It's a preview for your viewers, so to speak.
I came out basically saying, the quality is really good. I was very happy with the quality. The Taichung Taiwan, I think what they're capable of, is kind of shining through with that. But it is like holding on to a metallic pine cone. It's very angular and it's not a super duper comfortable. Like, it's cool, and I'm still confused as why the cleaver trend is still happening. It's very blocky, but it's a nice knife. Like, people who like that look are gonna love it.
That's actually almost exactly my review of just like, this is a design piece. If you like the design, then you buy the knife and you're gonna love it. If you hate the design, then what the hell are you doing? This deep into a review, right?
Yeah.
So I'm with you. The metallic pine cone. Nice. Yeah, I think I might have used about the ergonomics of a pineapple. So I think we're not far off, right? But yeah, that's about where it lands. It's well
Oh
done.
man.
Yeah,
I
what
think
kind of a weird way for Spydico to come back, right?
I know, yeah, it's so weird. I really, and you know what? I feel like all three times you've come and talked with me, I have brought this up. I really
Oh,
hope
good.
I really hope the Python is fixed, right? Because it's now it really is coming back. And I'm excited for that. I just really want it to be good because I wanted to own it. I just couldn't own, you know, the silly putty detent on the last one just really made me mad. But I'm really hoping that they do that one justice.
The
Because
hollow
it's
grind on that stovepipe was good, right?
yeah, it was
If
it's
they did
funny
that
because
on the
it's like,
Python,
yeah, no, they did. That was just a flat grind, wasn't it? It was like stupid
yeah,
thick.
it was a dumb grind, unfortunately. Yeah, they get the detent and that they put that hollow grind from the freaking stovepipe on there. We're freaking made in the shade for the Python, but I agree with you. They need to get that. They need to get that one right.
You know what's funny is in the middle of the video, I was pulling my, you know, kind of, you know, like as you kind of talk as you know, like touch, you know, I'm kind of
Yeah,
like
of course.
talking, and I was like, oh yeah, this is a freaking hologram. And I was started to say like, you know, the geometry of the blade is pretty bricky and chunky, and then I realized it actually is a pretty aggressive hollow grind, but that flat is like 50% the height of the blade, so it gets dramatically thin, like really fast. And it's
Yeah,
funny because you're still like, if you're just slicing into something, then yeah, you know, but if you're gonna like cut through cardboard, you're pushing an axe wedge, almost literally an axe wedge through material. You know, it's funny.
yeah. I cannot wait for the thick blade stock thing to die, or at least get relegated to places where it is truly necessary. I think
Right.
folks like Tactile, like TRM, have been doing a great job of that. Actually, here I'll swap some things out here. But yeah, so I definitely, that's been a really refreshing trend in the knife world, so to speak.
I'm at the point now because I used to be all about you know, like, oh, it's got a thick blade stock, so it must be ultra durable, right? I kind of fell into, in fact, that type of thing is kind of what got me into Hinderer knives, because Hinderer dimensions are kind of like, you know, ridiculous. And
Yes.
but I'm realizing, you know, I've realized over the years, like that's it just makes it cumbersome. But I do still like it when it's obviously a joke, like
Oh yeah.
like the new PMP Alpha Beast. I pre-ordered that because it's absolutely ridiculous. The blade stock is almost
Oh
half an
sure.
inch thick.
Oh,
And
for
I was
fuck's
like,
sake. Okay.
I was like, I have to know what this feels like, right? I just really want it. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, it's something that can be overcome with
Right.
either sufficient comedy or excellence. But yeah, I agree. It's to a point where I think more people are seeing it as a, why did you make that choice exactly, rather than, oh yeah, 0.15, yes, sounds great, sign me up. In case I need to hammer it into a tree someday. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you know,
Ay, ay.
like would I own a car like now this what I'm about to say is like almost suggesting that I'm relating the blade stock thickness directly to obvious performance. Like, would I own a
Yeah.
1,000 horsepower car? Sure. But am I ever going to drive it that fast? No. But then again, blade stock thickness doesn't necessarily correlate to a specific type of performance, you know?
Yeah, and in my life, it correlates badly, right? That's like asking me, would I own a semi truck? Like, yeah, it'd be kind of cool briefly, but not that I got any beef with truckers, of course, much respect, but I just don't want to drive that to the freaking grocery store, right? And so ultimately, I'm going to the grocery store. I don't need to tow anything at the moment, but thank you.
Oh, I'm just imagining like a big ass like Nick Shabazz
Gem branded on the side of it, like Everybody
park
get on
it.
the gem convoy.
You take up like 20 parking places, and then you get out, and it's Batman. Like, oh my
A
god!
hood made of Damas steel with the gem on.
Oh man, yeah.
The towable bat cave in the back with review area and everything.
I don't know
We're
why
taking this show on the road.
I would be very hard to like. It would be immediately recognized. Now it's gonna be a thing. Now you know what? I need somebody to like, you know, Photoshop this thing into existence. Maybe the same people who you had create that horrid open L hinderer thing, the thing that still haunts my dreams. God.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. That reminds me. I have made a minor mistake in arranging my table here this afternoon.
Yeah, how dare you? I gave both of my I gave both of my open L's away. I just could not bear to have them in I was like, no. And one of them I gave to my dad, and my dad has so many pocket knives because every time he comes over, I'm like, Dad, look at this. Here, you can have it. You know, and because I know he'll use them. He owns a construction company, so I know he'll use them. And he has all the. And I said, "Which knife are you carrying?" And he said, "Oh, I'm carrying the Open L, this thing with the ring lock." And I was like, "Oh, you like that one, do you?" And he was like, "Oh God, I love it. It's so good." He just
And you're
loves
immediately
it.
Googling how to disown parents.
I was like, get out of my house. Get out of my house, Dad. You can't, he doesn't even have a
You ever
pocket.
speak to my
I couldn't believe it. He loves, out of all the stuff that I've given him, he loves that Open L the most. Oh my God. Cracks me up.
Oh, the shame. Shame.
I was gonna ask you, so I'm assuming you're enjoying the tactile rock wall in with the thumb studs.
Yeah, for me, did you have one of the flipper versions too?
I did, and it was okay.
Yeah.
This
is better, right?
This is like way. I like this so much more.
Yeah, it's a good knife. It really, really is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is my first experience with MagnaCut, which I got to be honest, I'm realizing I don't use my knives nearly enough to really be able to tell, but it's doing all right. I don't know what that really means, but it seems to be doing fine. So
yeah, I mean, I've been trying to go out of my way. So I've got the rock wall there, and I've also got this bad boy. This is the TJ Schwartz Overland fixed blade in MagnaCut, and because it's a fixed blade, there's really not much wrong to go with it. I've been kind of beating the hell out of it in places. So like for the last little while, it lived outside in a flower pot, and I would just water it regularly. To see whether it's actually as rust resistant as they're claiming, and yes, and I've no, this is after the flower pot.
Wow. So I keep hearing like people, you know, like comments will be comments, but I see so many like outrageous claims in the positive and negative department when it comes to MagnaCut. So it's nice to see that your experience with the corrosion resistance is a positive one, you know?
Yeah, I mean, there's maybe a little, I don't even know if it's patina or discoloration or something like right there, but like seriously, this has been in an ugly situation for a little while. And like, I got sad for it after a while. I'd like look outside and he's just staring at me like, when are you coming back? So I brought him back in.
You just leave him in a flower pot and you're watering it. But I mean, that's a good way to test it, you know?
And it's because it's a little weird that my normal test is to hang it up in my shower. But this is big enough that it's a little bit like, okay, the wife puts up with a lot already. Thank you. So I decided to go outdoors and rugged with it. And indeed, absolutely no problem. So, you know, I don't think any steel could live up to the amount of hype MagnaCut has gotten.
No,
but at the same time, it's doing a pretty damn good job of approximating it. Like Pete's cut tests make it seem like, yeah, it's pretty damn good.
yeah, yeah. Definitely. And so the one thing I'm confused about, and I probably could just go and find what Laren Thomas recommends, but it's like Pete said in that video, like, you know, there's obviously, like, if they heat treat it, like, you know, really hard, at least within the parameters of where it's supposed to be, then the edge is going to perform better. But we're going to get, you know, like the commercial Magna Cut is not going to be quite as hard. So you're going to have a lot of people with varying, you know, results. But is it supposed to be about 64, or is it?
I actually don't. I don't have a strong sense of it. I know some people have said, you know, running Magna Cut under 62 is a waste, and that makes some sense, right?
Okay.
But you know, I imagine there's going to be toughness versus hardness trade-offs in every place. You know,
Right.
I think if it's done with respect, you know, Spydercopias, they've done pretty well with it with on Pete's testing, and certainly this is. I think this was Peter's heat treat though, so they do good work.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, I've been super impressed with it, honestly.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
Well,
no, that was reassuring.
That's good to know. I mean, I think the case, you know, it is the case with all things. If there's enough hype behind something, if there's something that enough people love, you're going to get like people who are like, you know, just there to kind of tear away at the base of the walls, you know, like it just,
Absolutely.
you know, it's just gonna be a thing, you know, which is why, and I think most people know, but like reading into any comment section is in a lot of ways like a waste, you know, like if you're looking for like, you know, if you're looking for like the best information, the comment section under any video, well, it can be fun if people are being positive, but if you're looking for like factual information, you know, it's not a great place to find it.
Oh, I'm trying to remember. Somebody in one of my comments on like an ancient video dropped the dumbest freaking take ever, and I'm trying to remember exactly what it was, but it was just like it wasn't even like that's a matter of opinion or oh yeah, that's a common myth, but it was God, what the heck was it? It was something completely stupid, like oh yeah, M390 can't hold a candle to 14C28N, or that wasn't exactly it, but it was sort of at that, and that one was way too generous to him. Like there's a world where you consider value. It's like, no, 4CR that's top tier. And it was, and like I smelled the 11-year-old who stole his dad's laptop off of the just sheeting off of this comment like butter off my semi-truck's hood, right? But it was yeah, so you're right. There are so many really stupid takes in the comments. I've learned great things from the comments, but the 90% rule is very much a thing, right?
Oh, 100%. I always say that I actually depend on the comments for especially like learning about new things, like things that came into existence. Like I actually really need that. But there are always, you know, there's some dumb. There's just every now and then, like amidst the dumb, there's a real stinker, you know.
Oh yeah.
Like you read it in your face, like your forehead implodes from the dumb, you know, like the gravity of what you're reading is so. I got one the other day. It wasn't quite that bad, but there was somebody who was furious with me for
oh good.
And you know, we're product reviewers, right? We say what we think, and the goal is to be honest so that it's helpful, right? They were so upset with me because I think this is someone who, you know, stumbled out of the YouTube ether and just landed on one of my videos. And I got a box from Concept. Who knows good and well that some stuff that they send is gonna, you know, it's not gonna be something I'm super interested in, and other things yeah, it's gonna be pretty cool, right? And they know that, and they've been cool about it. And so I unboxed it, and I was like, yeah, no, not really. I don't know how I feel about this. Kind of making fun of one of the things, and then I was really excited about the tiny, this guy, the mini Corvid cracked me up.
Oh, for sake, what we just talking about, Cleavers?
Yeah.
What we just talking about? MC.
It's so funny that they this funny little thing, but they were there. This person in the comments was furious with me they were like, "That's so terrible. Someone sent you a box full of free knives, and you said some mean things about someone." I was like, well, what? Was I supposed to? I'm just supposed to say like, yes, all of box contents. It's a big thumbs up from Metal Complex. Yeah, like why would and I realized I was like, no, engaging here is just it's futile. There's nothing to be gained from this.
The only way to win the game is not to play.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Concept is I've got a review coming up of the Shikari. Did you get one of those, the gigantic ass folding blade with the micarta handle?
Yes, I did. And honestly, it is gigantic, and the pocket clip is weird.
Yeah.
But I actually liked that one versus a lot of stuff that it is, it's kind of crazy thing. And is yours like a guillotine? Like the action was crazy.
Yeah.
It just fell like straight down it. And that's a cool knife. It's just freaking huge,
Yeah, and I think that there is a specific kind of human who's like Paul Bunyan sized, for whom that is exactly what they need. Like, and it's not like there are big knives in this tradition, right? And then there are big knives that are actually reasonable knives from actual humans, and I felt like that fell in that category of like, I personally freaking no, absolutely not, but I can see somebody enjoying it. But you're right, a lot of their stuff is sort of like, so this model made it to production, really? Okay.
Dude,
must have been a slow week.
The one that I was laughing at, I just realized it was so weird and random. It's got like bats and demons and how it's like a boo Halloween theme, like what I think
you get the press release on that one, which makes sense, right? Oh wow,
they're little demons. Like that's what they have, little demon faces, and there's bats, and it's just like an overcast sky in the back. I don't understand what's going on here. Like, what is this, for Halloween? Like, but they sent it to me in January. I didn't understand.
That's the Luna Halloween. Wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm all for like whimsical jackassy scales, right? Yeah. Like I do own. Oh, where are you at here? I do own a Space Kitty Banter, right? Yeah. So I'm not immune to dumb things on knife scales, but at the same time, that's a hell of a take. I'll just put it that way.
It is that's the type, like the one you just showed there, though. That's like, this is obviously like out like supposed to be out of left field, random and funny, right?
Yeah.
This is like it's inexplicable. I don't understand. Yeah. Like, they didn't tell us there was going to be a joke. We don't have any specific indication that they're, that they do jokey things outside of the mini Corbin, right? This is just funny,
Yeah. That's Poe's law in knife making form, which states that any form of satire is indistinguishable from real. Like, if you go far enough in your satire, it is indistinguishable from real belief. So, like, we're looking at that knife and we're like, are they making fun of us? Or is that really, it's amazing.
That's funny. You know what's great? This is great. This can be front flipped, and I'm gonna demonstrate. Dang it.
I'm gonna try to.
You know what? So just there, I accidentally cut my hand.
Really?
Yeah, because I was dedicated. Hold on, I'm gonna do it right. There we go. I got it.
You need some Neosporin over there. Good Lord, man! Don't clean yourself up.
yeah. Hand me that Neosporin real quick. God dang it!
Get the first aid kit, compression bandages.
God, I'm like, yeah, watch it. It can totally be front flipped. You just have to cut yourself to do it.
So
I speak here.
do we need to cut for a moment?
No, I'm okay. I'm trying to here. I'm going to show this to you left-handed. This is that knife that I was telling you about from the piece of papers over here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. I have to unfold. There's a lot of literature here.
Blood, no doubt.
It's
an episode title. There will be blood.
So, dude, you know what's funny? I accidentally just got some on the piece of paper. So when you receive it, it's unfortunately going to have a bit of a stain on it.
Oh, dead. Oh.
But it's called the Russ from the name of the guy. Oh God dang, I got it all over his.
Just wipe away the blood, MC. You'll get to the name.
God.
Graham. Oh my God.
I know. It's just such a tiny little mark in my hand and it's going everywhere. The Grambo knives, I think is the name of, sorry, I'm trying to cover my juice up here.
Nice
Grambo
try.
knife.
Good attempt.
Yeah. I'm gonna get a cloth and just wrap it around my hand so it stops.
Get a compression freaking bandage over here.
There we go.
See, this is where the high-speed, low-drag first aid kits come into play, right? With the Israeli bandage wrap around the hand with that Thora seal over here. But
yeah, this is the Russ, and it's a good-looking knife. The thing that I like about it, as I was telling you, it's weird, but it's a frame lock. Like the actual lock is not, normally they do like the liner and it's countersunk and then there's screws that attach the liner to the frame.
Interesting.
But this is a frame lock that has a separate piece of this whole textured area is a separate piece of titanium that sits on top of. Yeah.
So it's sort of bolster locky in a way, but
yeah,
just in a very different. Okay, that's weird. Yeah, sure. Sounds like fun.
Super weird, and I mean that's as far as I can tell. I want to take this pocket clip. You know what? I should just do that. Let's find out for sure right now.
I'm gonna get this knife, and every surface is just gonna be coated in gore.
Yeah. Oh man, I got my thumb in the middle of a review the other day. I need to be more careful. God. But yeah, I have a feeling that we're gonna find out that this is, it really does, that's what it looks like to me anyway. But the thing is, I can't imagine that it's any other way because the liner, it really is part of the frame, right? So unless they split the frame into two separate pieces, but they kept it all attached to the frame, which doesn't make any sense. That has to be how it is. So, but
yeah,
see,
I mean, it kind of looks bolster locky in a lot of ways.
Yeah, there's like there's two screws here, and you would think one would be holding in the liner, but that's not the case. I'm almost dead certain we're about to pull a separate piece of titanium off of the top of this, and I'm just really curious to see.
Interesting.
Here
we go. Here we go.
This is totally coming. This whole piece of titanium is wanting to come off here, but there's something still holding it to the, but it's starting to lift right here. Almost. Hold on. So I pushed it back down in there. This is all of a sudden become really interesting.
I'm gonna dial 9-1. You just tell me when to dial the other one. At this point,
I need one of those little plastic things that you use to like twist it. Oh, you know what?
Here you go.
Here, one of these little.
The Metal Complex starter kit for the
Yeah. Yes, there it is. Yeah, look, it is.
Okay, huh? That's weird. Oh, there's the okay. I see the stabilizing post there.
Yeah,
Nice. Huh.
super random, but it
It's
works.
actually
Like,
smart.
and if you just want it to be a frame lock now, it'll work like this too, you know. But
I imagine with the ergonomics of a gym sock full of porcupines, but
but
nice.
yeah, the knife itself is cool, and he's changing the grind to a hollow grind.
Okay.
About 8.5 inches, and then it's some nice contour titanium, and it's done by Best Deck, and it's really like
Okay.
super well done. I really liked the hardware. Looks nice. I think it's going to be kind of a pain to take apart because of
Yeah.
the spanner, you know. But
Yeah.
it definitely is cool. I figured you would be interested to
Oh yeah,
look at
that's
it.
weird construction. Sure, I'll check it out. If nothing else, I mean, look, the fact is, frame locks do have a fundamental disadvantage of having, the lock bar exposed where you can press on the detent. And so
Yep.
I think any approach, a lot of people have been doing like the bolster lock. So, speaking of good knives, by the way, the freaking Tempest.
Oh my
Like I
gosh.
see you got one on your table. Like, oh man.
It is just Brian Nadeau. He's just like,
Mhm.
I just imagine he's sitting around going, you know what? I think I'm gonna make another perfect knife design today. You know, I know it's I know it's
And
not.
I'm gonna make it huge.
I know that a lot goes into it, but it's just amazing. Like the ratios on that knife are
Oh yeah,
ridiculous. 3.5
100%.
inches of cutting edge, and it's still what is it, 7.75 inches overall or something like that. And the weight on it is fantastic. The balance on it is fantastic. It's one of the only front flipper only knives that I'm like, yeah, I love this. Like, it doesn't need another means of deployment, you know.
And he nailed the detent too on it,
Oh my
which
gosh.
is not straightforward for front flippers, I think.
No,
So yeah,
no, yeah,
this is, and the thing is, it carries a lot smaller than it actually is as a knife,
definitely.
right? Like it doesn't feel like a freaking pocket sword, unlike most of his work. Um,
Yeah.
I only really am interested in the ultra mini nano versions of his
Yeah.
stuff and the Pico freaking Typhoons. But
Right. Like
yeah,
the arch nemesis is literally, it makes me think of a sword every single time.
oh yeah, I mean, it
And
is a sword.
oh God, yeah, exactly. It's also terrifying to put away with one hand. Um,
Yep.
but yeah, it's knives like the Mini Tempest that actually made me start to really enjoy it, because I used to be like, you know, it has to be at least 8 inches long or I'm not going to carry it. For I don't know for why I told myself that, but I was like, I'm only going to carry a big knife because, I don't know. But
Yeah.
knives like that are so good. They're just undeniably good. And it makes you wonder, why am I carrying such a large knife when this is so much easier to carry, and it can do the same things, and honestly is still day to day for me, it's still a bit overkill. I could probably get away
Oh, for
with
sure.
a 1 inch blade, but yeah, the Mini Tempest is, I'm trying to screw this all back together without injuring myself.
Again.
Again, yeah. I think maybe I should leave all of any disassembly completely to you. So lesson learned.
I think, yeah, no, I think to be fair, you hurt yourself opening the knife. Not
Oh,
so.
that's
Okay, bleeding out over there. I got a story for you. This is behind the scenes that's going to amuse some folks. So I have not cut myself that many times on the channel. Right, there have been a couple of them, but nothing too bad. But when I went down to ProTech to film the knife blade band or a knife banter sort of thing with Ben and Dave over there, one of
yeah.
the things they wanted me to do was a camera shot where from behind I deployed two side fire automatics in my hands. And so I had one of them. Oh, actually, I've got the ProTech Run here. Great. So I am so used to being a right-handed person. When you press the button, it fires out like so. And so I press the button with my thumb. And so in preparation for this shot, I took one of them and I put it in my hand and I had it ready. Then I took the other one and I put it in my hand and I had it ready so I could press the button with both of my thumbs. Do you see the problem with this?
No, you open it into your hand.
I
Oh.
100% deployed the blade,
Oh,
and it went right into the palm of my hand in that shot.
oh,
And it was
God.
the dumbest damn thing I have. No, that's not at all true. I did some dating in college, but it is nonetheless, it's a really dumb thing. So the lesson I have learned from this is when dual wielding side fires, always one gets the index finger.
But man, I would have probably done exactly the same thing because your brain tells you this is how my hand interacts with this object. The
exactly.
button, your thumb goes to the button. And you know how many people are deploying automatic knives, at the same time, like one in each hand at the same time. So it's not like you've been in that situation before, Like,
no, and my brain is about as ambidextrous as a stick shift, so it's like not gonna freaking happen. But yeah, so I felt like a complete idiot, but at the same time, looking back, it's like that was a very logical form of dumb, right? So yeah, I feel you very strongly on, and I recently had to replace my table material here for because I cut it open with a freaking Protec in the middle of a review. Because I was deploying it like in this kind of position, and I just caught the tip, and it was like, nope, okay. Whoops.
Oh man, I'm gonna do my best to disinfect that piece of paper that I'm gonna send you with my blood.
Put it out in the sun for a week or two, you'll be golden, right? Oh man.
Oh man. I can't believe that just happened. It's just I cut myself and then I proceeded to make the worst mess that I could. Like if I was going to bleed on something, at least not bleed on something I'm gonna mail to you.
You're like a lawn sprinkler with the
Oh God, sorry. It's all over the place. Yeah. Oh man.
yeah. Oh man.
It's the tiniest. Seriously, look at this. It's the tiniest. That's all it was.
Yeah,
but it went
here you are.
God. Oh man.
And like every vampire who's watching this is like, oh yes, keep this content coming.
Oh man. Well, Nick, is there
kidding.
anything that you have there that you wanted to talk about that we haven't talked about yet?
Oh, what do I want to talk about that we haven't talked about yet? Honestly, I mentioned the Protec, which is a lot of fun. Actually, okay. Speaking of doing dumb things, I recently did a really dumb thing. This is actually related to a commentary we had on the podcast at one point in time,
Okay.
where I talked about the Wee Knives Eschaton.
Yes. Okay. All right.
And I mentioned, God damn it, I want to buy a dress eschaton. I should have done one when they were still available. Recently, well, October now, I went to Blade Show West, and lo and behold, at the Wee Knives booth, this isn't the full dress version. A buddy of mine snagged that, although I may end up doing that from him because I'm as freaking weird. But I ended up doing exactly the thing that we talked about back when. I love it. I had both forgotten how dumb this was and how awesome this was at the same time. And this is, yeah.
I gotta admit, I'm actually jealous of that because there is nothing else that, number one, looks like that design, but to have a crazy version of an absolutely crazy knife, like there's got to be some serious pride of ownership going on there. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And like the Arrakis is very nice, but it feels like, Mom, can I have an eschaton? We have eschatons at home. It's like, yeah, I both judge myself and am proud of owning that guy. It's ridiculous.
Oh my gosh.
But
that's
yeah,
awesome.
So anyways, that's a mistake you made me make. Thank you for that. I appreciate that.
Yeah, well, you made me get into watches. So
It has been a rough moral week for me. I'm going to be honest with you, MC, because for the longest time, so there were forums in which a number of knife geeks communicate. for the longest time, Advanced Knife Bro, whenever the topic of watches came up, would always say, "Oh, I've got the perfect watch," and he'd show a picture of his cell phone. You know what? He's the smart one here, right? And
Yeah.
it's not just me. I think Levon helped a lot. You probably helped soften him up some, but I can't help but shake this nagging guilt that
Oh man.
I got Advanced Knife Bro into watches because he's into watches now.
I
And
know.
it's just like, oh my God.
Every time I look at the chat, it's just like, oh, they're talking about watches again, and it's Advanced Knife Bro showing a whole bunch of.
And he's buying a Hamilton because he did one. It's like, okay, this is going to be my one and only watch, and I'm like, yeah, sure thing. Yep, got it, bro.
Oh, that's funny. I mean, you know, he's just like any of us. Once you find that little crack in the wall, you know, you just obsess over it, you know, and that's what he's doing right now. He's found this new, you know, itch, and he's just scratching it like crazy. You know, I mean, we all the slope is just as slippery. You know?
But I thought there was hope, right? Like I thought that there was somebody out there. It's like in the movies where you find like the one person who's immune to the disease that's killed everybody. It's like maybe this will help us find a cure. And so I was looking at him like maybe he'll help us find a cure for watches. And then nope, he succumbs. And it's just like, damn it.
He went
Come on.
full Boromir on watches. Like,
yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I can resist this. It has no effect on me. You know. Oh
man. Yeah, so that's been hurting me a little bit. What about you? Did you have anything you wanted to bring up?
Yeah, I just bought multiple. My last few purchases were all extremely expensive. The F3, I bought this for the second time. Which I'm to me, the F3 NS I think is I think this is the best pocket knife design in existence.
What does NS mean again?
I don't know.
Okay.
For me, not safe. But I think this is the one that has the multi-row bearings and the carbon plate and the M3. It's got all the newer kind of chirography stuff on it. But I love that one. And then I also bought the CKF 520 with the Zircotite bolsters, which I absolutely love. This, if it weren't for the Mini Tempest, I'd say this was the best front flipper I'd ever handled. I love that. And I'm about to buy. Crane's Cutlery has exclusive Riot jacks. They call them Jack 1.5s, and they did some with Mokutai inlays, like huge slabs of Mokutai on the Riot jack, the first one.
That's not the one with the 15 screws and the replaceable blade, is it?
No, that's the Jack 2.
Oh, that's right. There was the original Jack. Okay.
Yeah. Crane's Cutlery brought it back, and I would have bought. They did some in Zircotite, like both sides of this massive integral knife. They did some in Zircotite, and those sold immediately. But they have some in Mokutai, and so that's my next purchase. And as you can imagine, that's also really expensive. But I thought I love the Jack 1. Like, it's a huge, crazy knife, and with those inlays, it's like 7 ounces. But I just really want it.
Yeah, that seems like your brand of ridiculous. I'm with you. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. You know.
Okay.
We got to talk about this before we sign off here. So to everyone watching, Nick and I regularly laugh. It's kind of like we rub our temples and laugh at. And we don't know where this. I think it makes sense that people would come to this conclusion, but so many people assume that YouTube is an arena, and that everyone who is in the arena is competing with or is like at the throat of everybody else. Which is, it's like people naturally come to that. People naturally come to that conclusion, but but they ignore any evidence that suggests otherwise. Like, for example, the fact that Nick and I regularly like to chat together in a friendly way, right? What I'm saying is that people think that Nick and I are in some sort of competition. People also think that me and Neve's Knives are in some sort of competition. And it's just really funny. It's like, how would we compete exactly? Like, how would that work? You know?
Yeah, I mean, we could start like a rap beef or something like that, right? But no, it's ridiculous. And I mean, look, if you listen to the start of the show, it's pretty clear that we were both laughing before we started this,
right?
Right? You know, I like MC a lot. It is absolutely. I wish him all the best, and he can replace me at this point. Have fun.
I will never.
All his. The crowd is his.
I would never want to. I would be so terrified and confused in a, you know, if you
think of how I feel being me, right? Terrified and confused about sums it up, right?
The other weird thing is that, like, people, if anybody who's ever thought that, let me ask you, what is it that makes you think that if some channel has, like, for example, Nick has double the subscribers as me, right? But let's say all of a sudden I had twice the subscribers of Nick. From my perspective, whether someone has more, it has no impact on me if some other channel suddenly has more subscribers or gets more views, because it's not like the knife crowd is just like this sort of beehive entity that just goes around and it's like, we're here now and now we belong to this entity. You know, it doesn't work like that, you know.
Sure.
More about subscribers, and we're all in this little space on YouTube, and there's this massive sea, and so the idea of competition makes zero sense.
Well, and the thing is, like, I'm sure you have this sensation. For me, as I've had more and more and more people, you know, joining up in the comment threads and things like that, in because of exactly the kind of stuff we were talking about earlier, I find myself valuing more and more the interactions I have with, you know, fans and with the folks, like, for instance, my patron Discord and things like that, and with friends I've made through the world, rather than, you know, going after every individual subscriber. And so it's kind of like, you know, I know that there are people who are in my, you know, fan base, so to speak. That sounds really weird, right? But who are also a big fan of yours, MC. And I know there are folks who like me and don't care for you, and I know there are folks who like you and don't care for me.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
At some level, I'm not trying to fight you for those people, right? We're both going to have our core groups. And frankly, I know that when you and I talk, I'm probably gaining some folks. You're probably gaining some folks. It works out, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And it lets us do things that are, I think, even more awesome. Like, I can't give too much detail, but MC and I are working on some fun stuff for the summer here. Might do some good for the world.
Yes, absolutely. And we're very excited about that. It's going to be a bit, but yeah, for sure. And, you know, truthfully, and like, I like having you on because it's fun to talk with you and we like a lot of the same stuff, but also it's because I know that at least, again, from my perspective, the vast majority of my audience does like you and your content. And they like to watch us.
Sorry. You deserve a better audience, MC.
Even if, let me tell you, even if, like, if everybody watching was like, don't have Nick on, we don't like if everyone was just like aggressively, I would have you on all the time. I would do it on purpose. I'd be like, no, you're gonna sit there and you're gonna watch.
You're gonna take it.
No, but everybody likes it, so, you know, it just makes it more fun.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, it's absolutely a joy, and, you know, you and I text back and forth on a regular basis.
Yeah,
usually laughing about some crazy thing going on in the knife world or another. So it's, no, it's a beautiful thing. And I think also the other thing is it's a beautiful thing too, because I love how many videos you make, right? Because you take so much pressure off of me. Like, you are able to, because this is your gig now, effectively, it's real easy, I think, for you to pick up stuff and go, oh yeah, here are my thoughts. And it's like, okay, cool, they're off my back for a little while. So if I want to do a review, and there's stuff that you show me that you're pointing out, like, Nick, this is good. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm in. So no, it's completely a win. I am so thrilled that you are continuing to gain subscribers, and I really genuinely do hope that you get to where I am and way past
I
down the
appreciate
road.
it.
So
I kind of,
no, there's no beef.
I hope that I'm always, honestly, this is really how I feel. I really hope that I'm always a bit behind you. I don't, and again, it's like I'm putting this emphasis on like whoever has more subscribers is ahead. No,
Yeah.
but I kind of don't, you know, I kind of like that, you know, there's Nick and there's Nut and Fancy and there's all these big YouTubers. And then there's like kind of content in the medium, so you know, it's like fear of too much responsibility. And I still do this. I think I told you this. Your disassembly videos, sometimes I do watch those before, like if I've got a knife that I'm not supposed to disassemble, like if I have a viewer's knife or something.
Oh yeah.
So many times I've had to go to your channel and watch it get disassembled so that I know what I'm talking about when I do the review.
Yeah.
I need that stuff because I don't take everything apart, you know, but I still have to know how it works.
It speaks well to your character.
Oh man, but yeah, oh no, and it's like I said, you know, you've got people in your comment section that give you crap about me. For whatever reason, it's like every day there's someone who is like, Neves is coming for you. They leave that comment. And I'm like, what the heck? Like, I don't think Jared cares at all. But like, it's coming. We tried to joke about it one time, and then those people were like, "Oh, an opportunity for internet drama," but they still remind me every day. It's been months. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. I don't know what to
He's
say.
welcome to it. Yeah, Neves is coming for you. That's such a ridiculous freaking comment. I love it.
I know it's so weird, but I mean, you know, I think when PewDiePie was warring against T-Series and he was blowing it up intentionally to draw traffic, it was just fun beef. That got everybody into this idea that, you know, whoever has more subscribers is top dog, you know, and so people are still kind of wanting to see that. And it's not, I think the YouTube knife world, there's not a whole lot of like YouTube knife world drama. A lot of the
there's lots of knife world drama, but I think among the YouTubers, we're mostly just looking back at this and going, oh, okay.
Yeah.
they got enough drama. Let's just hang out together, right?
Exactly.
There is some, but it can get ugly, but it is also it's nice to have a core group of friends like you who are who I don't have to beef with, right?
100%.
I don't want to beef with freaking anybody.
No,
I got too much. How do people have time to freaking beef with people? Right? Like, where do people get this free time? I want some.
That's all I can think of when I see, you know, things blowing up and things blowing out of proportion, and, you know, people making these long-winded response videos, and it's like, oh, you do not have enough going on in your life. Like, if this is I'm thinking, I don't have the energy, you know, like I'm number one, I'm too busy making knife content, but then I also have like a family and all this other stuff outside of, you know, I don't have time for it. It just sounds like a massive headache, but I don't know. You know, drama, like negativity is a view magnet. You know, you don't see.
Oh, for sure.
Viral positivity is generally not, unless it's like cute puppies and cats and stuff, then okay.
So in that case, maybe we should lean into this a little bit. Maybe title of this would be Shabazz versus Metal Complex. Blood is drawn.
You want me to do a thumbnail of like, I can do like a knight with a sword and like Batman like clashing with a lightning bolt down the middle.
I'm loving this. Yes.
Oh man, we should clickbait the thumbnail, so because people get mad at me, so they're like, your channel
good at that, by the way. Oh my god.
Most of the people watching get it and they think it's funny, but the But yeah, I actually now I really want to clickbait the title and the thumbnail.
Oh
Like
yeah,
really hard.
100% game. Hey, actually, I just remembered one other thing that's worth talking about real quick, unrelated to any of this.
Okay.
One of the weirdest, we've been talking about weird knives, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
one of the absolute weirdest things that's come out in a little while is this little guy, the Winterblade Factor. And I see you got one on the table there too, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so this is the custom version, but apparently coming here pretty soon, there is going to be a production version of that. And this is not the final version, but it's pretty
Oh,
close.
oh.
And I,
That looks
so he's
awesome.
completely changed the lock in that, you know, it's still the same deployment, but now you pull this guy back and it closes. And it's honestly, I like it. I like it a lot. I like the mechanism actually a little more than I like the custom. It's
God.
really, really freaking good. And he's made some tweaks. Like I said, I'm gonna have a production version, like the final version here soon. But yeah, this is gonna be a very exciting and it's very freaking weird, right?
Oh my
But
gosh, that is going to be like people are going to go absolutely crazy for. I want that. So he told me he was like, I'll send you one. You
yep.
know, I didn't know how many he had, and I wanted to be like, you mean you sent Nick one first? It's okay, I get
Well, to be fair, this one wasn't ever. This has been non-public for a good long time. I got permission to talk with him or to show it off today before this podcast here. But yeah, I like him a lot. By the way,
He
the
is.
Winter Blade Co. guy is super kind and just like you watch his Instagram, and it's just like, hey, look what other weird I figured out how to do today with magnets. It's just like, hey, yeah, it's a random number generator. It's like, hey, I made a vacuum that fires out the front and deploys kittens with magnets. And it's just like, shine on, you crazy diamond.
He is it so, and it's like everything looks so high quality too. It doesn't look like, you know, he's like, look at this prototype, and it looks like a fully finished, like something that you would need
Yeah.
like a large scale OEM to do. And he's just like, nah, I just made this. And what you have, he's got like 10 different gold, like golden designs
Oh, yeah.
that he could be, they could be released the way that they are, and they would be amazing and super popular. And he's like, nah, I'm going to keep tweaking it until it's perfect. That what you've got there, that production version of
Oh,
the
yeah.
factor, that looks amazing. Oh my gosh.
It is.
People are going to love that. That's super cool. And you can
And the
reverse blade
funny,
it. Super cool,
the funny
man.
thing is, every single thing he makes sounds like the dumbest shit you've ever heard until you get it in hand. Like I remember when he was first talking to me about this design, like he showed it off to me on an Instagram video, and I'm like, oh my God, that's stupid. Like this guy, and then, oh, well, how does it work? Well, I use a magnet for the dead and for the, I'm just like, I remember thinking to myself, well, like, okay, I want to give this guy, you know, the benefit of the doubt here, but this is so freaking dumb. Like, this is going to be, there's no way I'm going to be interested in this, but sure, send one along. I didn't say it to him, of course. And then he sends it to me, and I'm like, oh my God, this is so dumb. It's amazing. And it's like,
Oh
brilliant.
man.
So it has this weird duality of simultaneously being incredibly stupid and amazingly brilliant. And I
Yep.
love it.
Yep.
Like everything he posts, I'm like, oh, come on, really? Is that? And then I know, like, I get it in hand and be like, yeah, that's really awesome.
Oh
So
my
I love him for it. It's just like he seems completely untainted by the rest of the knife world. It's just like, yeah, made an OTF out of magnets. Turns out you don't need blah, blah, blah. Like, okay.
You're
Right on, you
exactly
crazy
right. Like,
diamond.
there's no, you're so right. It's like he just exists in this little bubble where he's not influenced by anything. He's like, I'm gonna make something that's completely and totally different, right? Thank goodness for people like him, because
Exactly. Yes.
my gosh, especially here lately, the knife world has gotten very, like, so oversaturated with the same type of stuff over and over and over again. And now that same type of stuff just costs more money, which is infuriating, right? But stuff like if we're gonna pay more money for stuff, it's, I want it to be weird like this, you know?
Yeah,
So
exactly. You mean you're not excited with the new Civivi flounce?
Oh, like that, my organs hurt just hearing. It doesn't. Oh
To be
wait,
fair, actually, this is which one is this? This is the Aztec or something like that.
that's
I
the
forget
Ortis.
the Ortis. Yeah, but the thing is, you didn't notice for a moment, right?
I
Like
didn't.
exactly, because I just said it's a new Civivian. It looks like every other Civivian. You're like, yep, that tracks,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. My brain. No, you know what's funny? There was a point where I said the Ortis, and it still is, I think, one of the nicer budget knives out
Oh
there.
yeah,
But there
for
was a
sure.
time where I was like, this is the best budget knife that exists. I think that was in
Yeah,
like
yeah,
2019 or something. And
yeah, yeah.
but they all like Civivi. I feel, and I like Civivi, and they do some interesting things, like the button lock Altus here recently was pretty good. But it's like they find a line and they're like, okay, this worked for exactly this percentage of the knife population, so we're going to keep that line. Now, what happens if we alter this line slightly this way? Oh, that didn't work as well. Okay, so next time we're going to make that area straight, and then it's like they're
Exactly.
slowly creating this community perfect just knife thing that can be sold in mass quantity. That's what it seems like with a lot of the designs.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
but they do make good knives that people can get for a
Sure.
reasonable price, and they've got quality materials. For
And
the
they
most.
also make the Elementum in case you don't want a good knife. Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to let that one out. Yeah.
God, the Elementum's a bit like, get so many people who are mad when I do a top whatever list, when I do like the best budget knives and I don't put the
Yeah, yeah.
Elementum on there. People are like, how dare you? They get so upset.
I know, and they've got so many better things too. It's just like
Uh,
it's freaking ridiculous. Anyways, yeah. So I just thought I would share just because this is absolutely freaking brilliant, and it is so very different than anything else that's out there right now. That's
yeah,
yeah,
very, very cool.
yeah,
Once he
yeah.
does it and other companies see that it's popular, uh, we will see, just there'll be so much copying. Like,
Oh
I'm
yeah,
calling it right now, and it's not even. It doesn't take a genius to know that that's what's going to happen. He's going to release that. It's going to be super popular, and all of a sudden, there's going to be another company who's like, oh, we also started using magnets too at the same time. It's like, come
yeah.
on, that's what's going to happen.
Oh
So
yeah, and it's got the nice thing is it's going to be super obvious, right? So
yeah,
it's just going to be like okay, sure thing. Who's
right,
who's next? And I think there are lots of cool uses for magnets in knives outside of doing it exactly like this. But I think that's where we're going to see the distinction. Is there
yeah,
going to be people who take the idea and do something different with it? Then there are going to be people who make in the same way that there are access locks that are not access locks.
right,
They're
right.
going to do the same idea here. And by the way, this doesn't go through. That wasn't a knock. This is a very different mechanism internally. But yeah. Anyways,
Yeah,
it's
I
a
agree with
beautiful
that.
thing.
I agree with that. It's like, evolve on the idea, rather than just taking it and just pretending that, it's back before the patent for the Axis lock was not up, and Gonzo was just like, we're just using it anyway. Like, it's like, that's not yours. But like, evolving on it would be cool. And
Oh yeah.
speaking of the Axis lock, I've said this
Uh-huh.
before, and I'm sure I know the reason, and the reason is that it would be more expensive to do it this way. Why don't they do the Axis lock like they did in the Anthem with
I
no
know,
omega
right?
strips? God,
Come on.
it's so much better. And it really, I don't make little tiny parts, so I don't know, but I wouldn't assume that it would be that much more expensive to do it like that. I don't
Tell
know.
you what happened in the anthem, and you can watch my disassembly to see more details of it. But there's actually a rod that is inside the knife here that is kind of attached to the axis, the bar there, and there is a coil spring around that rod, which gets rid of the omega springs entirely.
Yeah,
And which they had to do to go to the integral part. It was such a nice mechanism. It was really, really good. And it gets rid of the big point of vulnerability, namely the fiddly little springs.
yep.
So yeah, I agree completely. That was
Yeah.
that was a nice thing.
He's so cool. I wish, and if not, obviously they can't just be like, you know what, we're just gonna implement that on our entire line of Axis lock.
Sure.
Obviously they can't do that. But do another model like that, right? Like
Yeah.
do another cool, like I wouldn't be back then. People were super bothered that Benchmade dare make a $400 integral knife, right? And in hindsight, it actually was kind of amazing that it was
Yeah.
only 400 or so. But like, let's say Benchmade takes a crack at another, knife like that. It's going to be a lot more expensive, but I would definitely, I would be super interested to see another, like an evolution of the Anthem or something like that from Benchmade.
Yeah, frankly, I'd love to just see them do something collective focused that isn't like a gold class or something like that. Go high. They seem to be narrowed in on, it's good enough for the gun shop, so let's just sell a million of them, right? And I'm very happy to see, I'd be very happy to see them do a stovepipe, do something weird,
Yeah,
right?
do
But
something weird.
remind us that there were collectors who were interested in Benchmade because lately it's been a boring time to be a Benchmade fan.
Yeah, you know
That's for
what?
sure.
I gotta say, Benchmade are the company, and whoever their marketing person is, they're some of my favorite people to interact with.
Oh, interesting.
They're so like, hey, if you don't like it, it's perfectly okay. You say what you think. And usually, when people are asking to check something out, they're kind of like, can you not, like, if you're going to say mean things, can maybe we just don't do that one, But Benchmade has been like, yeah, say what you think. We want you to be honest, and they've always been like that, interacting with me. So I've enjoyed interacting with them.
It's nice that they still talk to you. I don't know whether they just dropped the ball a number of times or whether they've decided that I'm a liability. But either way, I'm glad to hear you got a good relationship with them.
Oh man.
Ay.
I'll tell them they should check this video out. Oh my God.
Let's see.
How long have we been talking, man?
About an hour 15. I gotta get going before too long here. So.
Oh yeah.
And you gotta go treat your wounds.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like that.
It's literally still trying to bleed. It must have. I must have got like
some alcohol for you right here. Okay.
Great. Yeah. I'll just hold my hand out. You just pour it all over my hand.
Yeah, exactly. That'll work. Just.
Hey, well, it was a pleasure as always.
Absolutely.
And I every time we do this, I have people say this should be a regular thing. And obviously, Nick and I can't do this every single week, but
I wish I had time for that. Yeah.
Yeah. If we could, we would run out of things to talk about. But
no, we wouldn't. Because the knife would always keep doing dumb stuff.
As long as Nick and I don't ever actually get into real beef, he will definitely. I will always invite him back for sure, because this is always fun, man. I appreciate it. Oh my God, get out.
I just got to give myself an extra week there of beef, so I don't have to come back any sooner. Take my schedule a little time, right? Like, best night ever. It's always a pleasure. I agree.
Yeah, this is great. Well, thanks for hanging out with me. And,
yeah, of course.
I guess I'm gonna do my outro now. So thanks so much for watching, everybody. Make sure that I should have said this at the beginning. Subscribe to Nick if you're not subscribed. It just seems ridiculous, because if you're watching it's likely that you're already subscribed to Nick if you're here watching this video right now. But
some people have good taste. Just follow you.
If you're not, I will link Nick's channel right down at the top of the description so that you guys can head on over there and subscribe. Excellent content that I don't know if you know this, Nick, I still watch every single one of your uploads.
I'm so sorry. You deserve better.
I see the notification on my phone and it's just like heavy breathing, like
and I will absolutely tune into yours too. So, hey, have a wonderful rest of your day, okay?
Hey, you too. And to everybody else, thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do of course have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like. So check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe, because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.